Hey, it's Doug and Susie again on Sailing Vessel Trilogy. Alright, we recently broke another TP32 auto tiller. So we decided to try something different this time since the price of the auto tillers has gone up considerably, a couple $100. So we had a friend of ours and he suggested the Pelagic Autopilot. So I started researching it. It seemed like a good deal. It was a little more modular instead of an all-inclusive one unit that seemed to not have happy times. It basically comes in three pieces. So you get the hydraulic piece, while the motor control, it's not really hydraulic, the motor control, and you get a control box, a black control box that connects everything together, and then you get a white control box that actually is where all the buttons are, where you actually can change things and change modes and the suppression states and sea states and all that stuff. So now I also, in order to do that, hooked up a chart plotter to it to get the apparent wind, because although driving the boat to a course is great, but when I go out in the ocean, I like to set it up so that the boat rides to the apparent wind, so that my sail set is up and I'm always going at an angle. Now, of course, you have to watch it a little more, because if the wind shifts all the way around in 180, you may have the misfortune of going the opposite direction that you want. But it keeps me from having any kind of tragic accidents from when, putting out a main preventer and then the wind shifts all the way around and the boom breaks off. I had that happen to a friend this year, and I decided I'd better get my act together and get this one on. Now with the TP32 you can automatically do it, but with the Pelagic you actually have to hook up, well, for starters you have to have a chart plotter with the wind vane on it, and you have to be able to get a 183 connection to the chart plotter or a 2000 to 183 connection. So I had both. I bought the little piece that changed it from 2000 to 183. I could not get the damn thing to work. I do not know what I was doing wrong. I'm sure it was something. So I went ahead and connected up the 183. Now I have a B&G Zeus 3 chart plotter, and this is going to work exactly the same on B&G 2 because I had a 2 before, so I know they have the same connector. There's a connector out the back for 183, and it has camera footage. You can actually run cameras right onto your chart plotter, which is pretty cool. When you're going into a situation where you want to be looking down at the front of the boat and see what's going on in the water. All the instructions are in the comments. I ran a 22 gauge wire from the black control box back to the chart plotter 183. It's pretty self-explanatory in the comments as to what I hooked up, which wires I put together, what worked for me. It probably will work for you. There is one caveat that you have to change the NMEA 183 to 48 baud. According to my VHF radio manual, if I was reading it right, the DCS, DSC, whatever it is, the little emergency button when you push it will not work correctly unless it's on a 19.2. 4800 apparently doesn't work with that. So I don't know if that's absolutely true or not. I'm sure as hell not going to push the button. I have other things that work the same, EPIRBs, all that stuff, so I don't have to really worry that much about it. If you're in VHF range and you're hearing me, you're going to hear, you're going to see me anyway. So I'll just get on the radio and talk to you. So all the instructions are on there. There is the baud rate setting in the chart plotter. You also have to go into the 183 setting, and you have to turn on the output for the wind. In order to get it, you just click a couple of check boxes and it's in, and that's pretty much all I did. Other than that, it's just a matter of figuring out how to get it to work on the control unit. I put detailed instructions on there. They have pictures on the Pelagic manual, but yeah, it took me a minute to realize what it was and what I was looking at in that picture. So in the comments, I just wrote it out for you so you can tell. It looks like it's working. I have not tried it in an operational condition yet, which I'm hoping to do next week. I went ahead and made the video because I'm making videos, and I'm just going to make the video now so I can just get it over with. If it doesn't work, then I'll come back and give you, I'll either make it work or I'll come back and give you a video and say, you know, yay or nay whether it worked okay or not, which is a later video. But that's all I got for this on the Pelagic install that has connected a Zeus 3 chart plotter, B&G Zeus 3 chart plotter, to work off of the apparent wind. Also, it works on the course still. And by the way, even though you can put the control unit anywhere you want, you really want to get that remote control. I can go up, and while I'm lifting the anchor, I can sit and just click that little remote control and turn the boat instead of having somebody in the back telling me. And since I'm a single-hander and Susie hasn't quite mastered driving the boat yet, she just kind of eats dog biscuits, but that's okay. But that is a great help. I love that remote control. That thing is awesome. It just, to me, it just makes the whole unit. now of course, there's one thing, one odd caveat about Pelagic is other ones you just hit you hit the course and it just rides to that course. Whereas the Pelagic, you hit to a course and it kind of wanders around for a few seconds and gets a feel for what it's doing, and then it starts going straight. So if you push the auto button and engage the autopilot, and then you start it, you start over, it starts turning right, so you hit the left button and you'll start oversteering all over the place. And at first, like, minute, just let it go. It'll straighten itself out and start going, and then you can adjust your course. That's the only odd thing I find about the Pelagic. Other than that, I really like it. It is great for sailing. It's okay for motoring too, but it's really way better for sailing. It's a good product. All right, now. Y'all enjoy. This is it. I'll see you next time.